Al-Bahidi. The original video to this link will be down in the description, alright? What's going on here at the family? I'll go by HereAfter Ous. Before we take off, man, bring it back. Hit that like, comment, subscribe. Comment a video down below if you want me to react to it, and I'll react to it, alright? On this channel not only to increase your Iman/Deen, but it's also to increase my Iman/Deen, which means faith in religion. Let's go. And the name of this video is Find Your Paradise on Earth. Find Paradise on Earth, Life Changer by Merciful Servant. Link is in the description. Let's go.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we came from Him and we will ultimately return to Him. That's the story of humanity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He put us in this world, He gave us two systems, I dare say two systems to process information. One system helps us navigate this physical world. So this is more of a mathematical system, logical, rational system. When you go to school, that's what you use. When you're studying math, that's what you're using. When you understand physics, that's what you're using. When you do IT and electronics, that's what you're using. 1 + 1 = 2. If I let go of this device, it's gonna fall. That's gravity. You understand this with your brain. So Allah gave us our brain to help us navigate this world so we can go through it safely. We can have we can have a life that makes sense in a physical sense. But that's not the only system Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. Allah gave us another system, and this system is based in our hearts. It is the system that can connect to the world of the unseen, and it intuitively understands how to process information that has to do with the unseen. So for example, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Himself, Ar-Rahmanu ala al-Arsh istawa, He's the most merciful, He rose upon the throne. If you understand this physically, try to process it in your dunya brain, you will misunderstand it. You will attribute to Allah that which does not suit. And that's exactly what happened to the people who went astray with the names and attributes of Allah. A man came to Imam Malik, rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was in Medina, and he says, Ya Imam, Ar-Rahman ala al-Arsh istawa. Kayfa istawa? He says, the Lord, or the most merciful, rose above the throne. How? What did Imam Malik say? He says, Al-istiwa'u ma'loom. He says, Allah's rising over His throne is known, meaning it's known to the heart. It's known in revelation, it's a fact. Wal-kayfu majhool, and how is not known to us. But our hearts know it's true. Our hearts understand it at that intuitive level. وَالْإِيمَانُ بِهِ wajib, and believing in that is an obligation, because it's in the Quran. وَالسُّؤَالُ عَنْهُ بِدْعَةٌ, and asking how is an innovation, is a bid'ah, is an infringement on the religion. So he was referring to these two levels. When we process matters of the unseen, it's not mathematics, it's not physics, it's not chemistry, it's not what you know about geography and about gravity. When we come to alam al-ghayb, the world of the unseen, it is the heart that is the tool to deal with that. The description of the angels, the state of the soul, the souls of the believer, how the soul leaves the body while in sleep. How, as Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu says, that when a person, before they go to sleep, they make wudu and they go to sleep in a state of wudu. He says, فَإِنَّ الرُّوحَ تَصْعَدُ إِلَى الْمَلَإِ الْأَعْلَى وَتَسْجُدُ تَحْتَ عَرْشِ الرَّحْمَنِ وَتَبْقَى سَاجِدَةً إِلَى أَنْ يَسْتَيْقِظَ. When the person goes to sleep while in a state of wudu, their soul travels to the upper world and it prostrates before the throne of Allah, under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. until the person wakes up. Until the person wakes up. How come? But the soul is in the body. That's the soul. It can be in two places at the same time. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala, he says in a book, as he was describing, he was talking about Jibreel alayhi salam. And when he was talking about the description of Jibreel when he appeared to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he first gave him the revelation. And the narration goes that Jibreel, when he appeared to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that was the second time, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw Jibreel in his original form.
Subhanallah.
He said he had 600 wings and he blocked the horizon. So Imam Ibn al-Qayyim describes this. He says, and when Jibreel was doing that, Jibreel appeared to the Prophet ﷺ, and when Jibreel came down in the form of a stranger man, he came to the Prophet ﷺ when he was with his companions. He came as a stranger who dressed up so nicely. He came to the Prophet ﷺ, he put his knees against the knees of the Prophet ﷺ, he put his palms on the thighs of the Prophet ﷺ, and he said, أخبرني عن الإسلام, tell me about Islam. أخبرني عن الإيمان, أخبرني عن الإحسان, tell me about these things. أخبرني عن الساعة, tell me about the hour. And the Prophet ﷺ was responding. The hadith that Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu narrated. So Imam al-Qayyim says, if you ask, where was Jibreel at the time? Yes, he was with the Prophet ﷺ, but he was also on the seventh heaven. He was above. And he says, and if your mind cannot digest this, leave it and don't bother with it. Because he says, فَإِنَّ لِهَذَا قُلُوبًا خُلِقَتْ لَهُ. He says, because for this, there are hearts that are created. There are hearts, specific hearts that are full with faith that are created for that. Because you're trying to process it in your head. And that's the problem. So when we are talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we process the information in our head, as I told you, it's going to fall on deaf ears. What is this? Okay, the believers are going to go into paradise. They'll be happy, they'll enjoy themselves. Then they will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. End of story. Nothing. That's how your head understands it. Because your head is looking for physics, mathematics.
My head's not looking for that. That's the full.
But this information, when it hits the heart expands. Faith is aroused in the heart. And the soul is awakened. So, Aisha radiallahu anha, she heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say in a hadith, "Man ahabba liqa'a Allahi, ahabba Allahu liqa'ahu." He who looks forward to meet Allah, he who loves, or she who loves to meet Allah, Allah looks forward to meeting them. Allah looks forward, Allah loves meeting them. Aisha radiallahu anha knows that meeting Allah means death. So she says, Ya Rasulullah, وَمَن مِنَّا لَا يَكْرَهُ الْمَوْتِ. She says, O Messenger of Allah, who among us does not hate death? Who's not scared of death? The Prophet ﷺ said, it's not this. He said, but the person who prepared himself to meet Allah, he looks forward to going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he knows what awaits him, or what awaits him. But the person who failed to prepare themselves, they know that it's the punishment of Allah that is awaiting them. So they hate to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah doesn't look forward to meeting them. So a true believer in their hearts, and that's how Allah designed us. A true believer seeks the moment to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the best time in their life, in their existence. That's the time they look forward to. Because if you ask, what is the eye created for? The eye is created for to capture images and send them to your brain where you can interpret them and understand them. What are the ears made for? The ears are made to capture those sounds and interpret them and understand them and maybe enjoy them. What is the tongue created for? It created for this kind of movement, that it helps you to express meanings in your mind, express them in the form of language. And this is why speech Every organ that you use in your body, if you use it for what it was created for, there's a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. And there's an urge in your tongue to speak. There's an urge in your eye.
Hereafter family, that was part 1 of Find Paradise on Earth. I got a lot of things from that. Video. This video is actually 28 minutes long, so we're going to break it up into 3 parts. This is day 1. So this is part 1. Tomorrow I'm going to give you part 2. And this is a life-changing speech, okay, guys? Some of my biggest takeaways from this little lecture is that Allah wants to meet those who wants to meet Him. So, like, if you scared, we all fear death, but if you don't want to meet Him, then He really doesn't want to meet you. But if you doing your salah and, you know, working towards meeting Him, then He'll be more than happy to meet you. And guys, like he said, our brains, the way our brains are made, they're made to, you know, be rational and think about numbers and, you know, figures and, you know, subjects like chemistry, physics, math, IT, doing little jobs. But our heart connects to God. Our heart connects to God, and that's a whole different level. There's a lot of different dimensions and trying to, you know, reach God. Like God, you know, He's up on in the 7th heaven. So guys, you have to really, in this dunya, you gotta focus, pray. All the answers are in the Quran. All the answers in your holy book. And we just gotta keep striving for the right path. I got a long way to go. But hopefully with the help of you guys, we all will get to good Iman, we all will get to good faith, and we all will get to good deen. But remembering Allah is a big part of it. So every day that we watching these videos, our faith is increasing and our Iman is increasing. So Hereafter family, I'm not going to hold you guys up. I appreciate you guys for stopping by today. Hereafter family, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. Comment a video down below if you want me to react to it, and I'll react to it, alright? And we are growing. We're at 200 subscribers. Thank you guys so much to everybody that's subscribing. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep pushing, all right? Hereafter family, Ous out. Peace.